shoulder mobility stretches today. We went over myofascial release stretching for upper body work a few videos ago, and today we're really going over static stretches and kind of how to work through those. Working kind of with internal rotation first. So internal rotation is going to be here, bringing our shoulder down and forward. This really helps us with our pulling position, whether it's clean snatches and also just kind of other stability work or presses, anything like that. So two big stretches for me that I love to do. Obviously, I don't expect everybody to have a pole in their house or something they can grab onto, but anything works. If you have to go down to a stop sign, use the stop sign. Don't be ashamed. You'll be sad when you blow out your shoulder. So imagine you're holding a cup of coffee, and what you want to do is kind of don't spill that coffee, bring it around. We're going to grab on to that bar, and then you're going to slowly take a small step forward and kind of lean forward and try to get that shoulder to the opposite, or sorry, bring that hand to the opposite shoulder. So it's coming up and around this way to your opposite shoulder here. So here, so the first thing you can do is just stand normal, grab onto the bar. You're going to slowly start to lower yourself down and come away from the bar with your body. One thing I don't want you guys to do is come so far away that the shoulder starts to dump forward and round forward. So staying tall, big chest, and just barely come away. If that works for you, great. If you want to stretch, good. If you need a little bit more, you can also turn towards that bar or to that other shoulder to kind of really open this area up a little bit more. Again, this should be a stretch for a lot of us new to stretching. Just get to a place that's a little bit outside your comfort zone. Focus on big, deep breaths, relax. Don't try to overdo it. If you are going beyond like your pain threshold, and you shouldn't even be going that far to begin with, you could actually do more damage than you're helping yourself. So it should be uncomfortable, that's stretching, but it should not be so painful that you're going to hurt yourself. Another one, with a bar, or even you can do this with a countertop at home. It's not quite as high, so you're going to bring both hands together on the bar, palms down. Stand up nice and tall. For me, this is a great stretch right here. If you need to, you can kind of lower yourself down. But again, being aware, if I go so low that these shoulders just start dumping forward, I'm kind of losing that stretch through my chest, my anterior deltoid and rotator cuff, and turning it more into just like a weird awkward position. This one is great too. You should get a little bit of stretch in your biceps because you're getting a big stretch through here and opening up that muscle as well. So those are our two main ones for internal rotation. Again, if you have anything else that a physical therapist recommended, feel free to do that. If you don't have a bar at home, one thing you can do either with a broomstick or a towel that doesn't have to be stretchy, just kind of bringing it overhead, other hand, and just grabbing. If you're flexible enough, you can interlock your fingers and connect there as well. And just kind of give a gentle pull on that bottom arm down here, so that you're kind of getting up to the opposite shoulder. It should be a nice stretch as well for your tricep. If you're not that flexible, again, just grabbing a towel so you can kind of bridge that gap. Just give a little tug on that upper arm so that lower one gets a nice stretch. Going with external rotation. For a lot of us, this is going to be a big one. There's a couple of different ways we can do this. If you are at the gym, we have these everywhere. People don't always leave them where it's supposed to be. But find a PVC pipe. What you want to do here, what's up? Starting with the bar here, you're going to drop down around to the side and just bring it up. Goal of this one is you should feel a big stretch kind of in the back of the shoulder as you gently pull up. This is going to be a big stretch for your front rack position in your front squats, helping you keep your elbows up, and also just any overhead mobility work, being able to actually rotate and get overhead a little bit easier. So again, holding stretches for about a minute after you can finally feel yourself relax. So get uncomfortable a little bit, and then big deep breaths, relaxing, and just let everything go. Let this stretch take over. So this is kind of a single arm one. It's nice. One way you can kind of cheat yourself is if when you're in here, you're so focused on cranking this other end of the bar up that you're kind of bending with it. And at that point, you're really not getting a whole lot of benefit out of it. So make sure you're standing up tall and you're just letting the work happen. Don't try to overdo it. It's not a competition. You're not, looking at Nancy over there in the corner like, wow, she can like really do this one and I can't. It's time. It's every day. It's practice. If you do have a over here, if you have a band or a slingshot, or if you're at the gym with me, you're more than welcome to do it this way. But what you're going to do here, hopefully I can talk through you guys and you guys can still see. Using a bench or any platform really will work. We're going to sling our hands through here. You want the band to be above your elbows. And what we're going to do is we're going to kind of give this a little twist. So you can kind of see here that my hands are outside my elbows, and that's our ultimate goal. So that's going to really help with our external rotation. So elbows are going to be on here. You're just going to lean through and push back as far as you can. And these plates are kind of narrow. We'll try to push back through and keeping that form. So your arms shouldn't be straight, just about 90 degrees with your elbows, and kind of sit back into your hips. These are a little bit narrow for me, so I can't fully show you, but I'll be more than happy to show you more at the gym. But it should be kind of straight through and keeping that angle. If you need to, kind of let your hands slide in just a little bit, but again, you still want to feel that stretch. If you're in that stretch, and after 30 seconds a minute, you're kind of opening up more, feel free to kind of twist that bar, extend your hands just a little bit, doesn't take much, and then turn back square. Again, it's keeping that sitting back position. You should be able to really feel the back of your shoulders open up. I prefer this stretch over the single arm, but the single arm one is nice. Like I do have better external rotation in my right arm than my left. So every once in a while, it's just nice to sit there with my left arm and just kind of help that one catch up a little bit. So those two right there, along with the other two for internal rotation, big ones there for shoulder mobility. Last two that I kind of want to talk about, one is just going to be leaning through a doorway. It's going to be a big help to kind of resetting your shoulders and allowing them to get back. So again, we talked about it earlier in the video that our desk jobs, sitting at a desk, we kind of get stuck in this position a lot, just in life in general. So our shoulders are kind of rounded forward naturally. We kind of walk like this. We want to be up, shoulders down and back. So what you can do is kind of get a hand through here. Actually, I'm going to turn away from you guys for a second. But just sit into that doorway or a post or something like that and just kind of push your shoulder blade down and back. You kind of want to get this shoulder blade across to your other butt cheek. So here, just leaning through and just trying to get this across, and it's going to help and push those shoulders back. So again, sitting there for about another minute or two, big help for your shoulders. Last one is a little bit trickier. A few more tools. Mat. How to do this one. So we have these at our club. Dynamax ball's great. And ideally you have a lightly or a little bit of heavier bar than what I have here. And what you're going to do is we're going to bridge over this ball. Just like so. So our thoracic is just kind of on the ball. Kind of where we did the double lacrosse ball stretch for our thoracic. And you're going to open up your hands. Kind of let them drop behind you. This is where the weighted bar is a little bit nicer, just to kind of help skip down. If you need to, it's going to be a little tough at first. Go ahead and bridge those hips up. Give your shoulders a little bit of help, and then slowly drop those hips down. And right here, you're just going to hang out for about a minute. And if you want to, you can slowly kind of bring that bar down to your hands. Down to the ball. You should feel a big stretch kind of through your chest as well. Those two, along with it, two internal, two external rotation stretches. Again, you don't need to do these every day, but the more often you dedicate a little bit of time, you should see a big improvement with positioning for overhead work, easier chest presses, all that stuff. It makes a big difference. the gym, ask me a few more questions. Have a good day, guys.